Hey, I'm Mike, and welcome to Retro Boost. This is part 3 of my RAD2X Nintendo RetroTINK comparisons. Parts 1 and 2 compared the RAD2X Nintendo against the 2X Pro and the 5X Pro using HD Retrovision component cables as to match the level of quality that the RAD2X Nintendo is capable of grabbing onto from a Super Nintendo. We're moving on to the N64 today, and with that comes some changes. We'll go over the details there. As far as details on the devices themselves, I'm going to be really kind of brief on that in this video. If you want more information as to like what the RAD2X and the 2X Pro and the 5X Pro devices really are, I would refer you to the first two parts of this or my other content on the channel. Plenty of standalone videos on those devices. So before we get started, if you find the video helpful or informative, feel free to subscribe. Best way to help me grow the channel. As I was making this video, we crossed 750 subscribers. My goodness, thank you all so much. Every view and every subscriber is deeply appreciated. We also launched a Discord server. It's where all the news, updates, and more go for the channel now, including having videos available early, at least until the end of the year. Normally it's like a rank thing, like you participate in the channel, you rank up, it's all free, then you can access early videos. But for the first whole year here, I'm going to make them all available early. So depending on if you're watching this now, maybe you're watching it now on the Discord server versus whenever it goes live after the fact. And stay tuned to the end because we have a special giveaway regarding the Discord server. But now let's go over the details as to what these comparisons are going to entail. So unlike the Super Nintendo, the RAD2X, different situation regarding its output. With the Super Nintendo, it can grab onto RGB by default and provide you an excellent image. For devices like the RetroTINK 2X, you'd have to provide something similar by upgrading the cabling, or for something like the N64, upgrading the hardware via a console mod. So, for the N64, we're going to do two types of comparisons. With my standard N64 that I've had since I was a young lad, it's my childhood N64. Using that, we're going to use the composite output comparisons. So by default, the RAD2X will run in composite mode with this kind of N64. You can then toggle on or off smoothing. Similar for the 2X Pro. The default method there would be composite. So we'll do composite versus composite. Composite mode versus composite cabling to the RetroTINK 2X Pro. But the 2X Pro is capable of a little more. That's where something like the 2X Pro is a more versatile device, whereas the RAD2X is a more specified device. The RAD2X Nintendo being built for specific consoles, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, whereas the 2X Pro has a variety of inputs and outputs, composite component, S-Video, so we can use S-Video as an option. It's better than composite, so we'll do both of those. Composite mode versus composite cabling to the RetroTINK 2X Pro, and then we'll do smoothing on and off, kind of get an idea of what that compares like, how they handle those tasks. And then also the same thing again, composite mode from the RAD2X against the 2X Pro running S-Video cables. So those will be our baseline comparisons of a standard N64 experience. Then we'll get into the RGB modded side of things. But first, let's see how these devices handle composite out of a standard N64, and then the RetroTINK 2X Pro S-Video after that. So for Composite, both of these devices, they're really close. Like, I'm struggling to find differences, which, I mean, they're doing a great job. I can't say that any one of them looks inferior. I think that the smooth options, smoothing turned on for both, well, not for both, smoothing turned on for the RAD2X, and then using the smooth filter on the 2X Pro produces the best image of Composite as the source for the N64 for these devices. I think that goes without saying. The edge processing, like on the RAD2X, might be better, but I don't know, I might be just splitting hairs there. Overall, they both do a really good job. I can't fault either one of them, and they're very close. When we upgrade to S-Video for the 2X Pro, the RAD2X isn't really falling behind all that much. There are some examples of added clarity that are noticeable with the 2X Pro when S-Video is being used, but it isn't like it propels it a mile or two ahead of the RAD2X. The RAD2X is holding its own in those examples too, which I think goes to show kind of what I was expecting or suspecting to see when I did these comparisons that as the device is designed for a very specific range of consoles, I would expect, or hope rather, that it performs better at its task than a device that's just more general in purpose, like how the 2X Pro is designed for, in theory, all game consoles, provided they meet certain criteria for resolutions and input. But, you know, it's interesting. Now, let's move on to the RGB modded side of things. This is where it gets a little complicated. This video was kind of a nightmare to edit because I did a ton of recording with a couple different games, put together like 30 minutes worth of comparisons, and then cut it all, kind of did it again, because there's so many variables here. I decided to just break it down to basically two types. So with my RGB modded N64 comes with it the ability to disable or enable the Deblur feature. So how do I put that to use? Well, we're going to do two types of comparisons. With the RGB modded N64, we'll be doing a no Deblur smoothing enabled, so like maximum smoothness, and then a Deblur no smoothing / sharp filter for the 2X Pro, so maximum sharpness. We'll take a look at kind of both extremes. You can mix and match those however you like, whatever you may enjoy. I think for comparison purposes, just trying to get at the core of the issue and keep things relatively simple there. Otherwise, the whole thing could run away and we'll be here for 10 years. And like I said, it was like 30 minutes of footage, and it's a lot. And if you want to see kind of all those different variables in play, I did that with my RAD2X video, doing various comparisons like that. Composite against RGB, the smoothing on, the smoothing off, the Deblur on, the Deblur up, in my original RAD2X video. So if you want to see it, there are some examples to pull from. And as far as how the 2X Pro is getting this, so the RAD2X can run that RGB signal when the console's modded, or a console like the Super Nintendo can give it to it. For the 2X Pro, you could just buy like HD Retrovision component cables and use them on an RGB modded N64. Boom, do it that way. The way that I'm doing my setup is I have a SCART cable coming out of the N64, and I run that into a RGB to comp converter or transcoder that RetroTINK makes, and then from there a male-to-male component cable from HD Retrovision into my Extron switch. And I do that because I'm trying to keep things like everything running through the Extron, and I wanted to play around with that device versus buy another one of those HD Retrovision component cables for the Super Nintendo family, because they are hard to get, they are pricey. Obviously the RGB to comp is pricey as well, but it was a chance to play with a new toy, so I figured if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I might as well do it on a device I can use for a variety of purposes, and keep things running through Extron. So that's how the 2X Pro is getting the signal. Same for the 5X Pro in the next part of this series that we'll do. Now that all that explanation is out of the way, let's take a look at what the RGB experience for N64 compares like between the RAD2X and the 2X Pro. So now when we push it up to RGB level, kind of like what happened with the Super Nintendo examples, happens again here. The 2X Pro comes across as a little better. Slight bump in clarity side by side, little bit brighter overall color, a lot of those same differences, what a term, come back again when we see these two side by side. On their own though, they're both doing a great job. And this video is not to, like, none of these videos are ever about, like, trying to shame one because the other one's so much better. It's just a way to show off what solutions are out there and what they look like. You got multiple devices do the same thing. I'm interested to see how they differ. So, the RAD2X, I really like it. The 2X Pro, after getting the 5X Pro, it's a device that I haven't really given much thought of until kind of recently again, and now I'm kind of thinking like, oh man, I should have just been using the 2X Pro like kind of the whole time for this RGB stuff, at least prior to getting the RAD2X, because compared to the 5X Pro, well, spoilers, I guess we'll get to that. So that'll be the next video. So hey, alright, so what are we thinking here? Well, composite wise, they're both extremely equal. If the N64 was like your only console, the RAD2X is going to make a whole lot of sense given its cheaper price point than the 2X Pro is, and the fact that quality-wise, for composite, I can't find differences that are anything worth talking about. If you owned a variety of consoles, that's kind of where the 2X Pro makes more sense, given its variety of inputs, supports a wide range of consoles, whereas the RAD2X Nintendo is built for really a specific few. It's all the Nintendo stuff. They do make other RAD2X models, though, for other consoles. That's how that product line works. So, depends on what you're using it for, and what you have. When we bump it up to that RGB level for the N64 at least, the 2X Pro started to take it away, which is kind of like what happened with the Super Nintendo. Although, bear in mind that the cost is going to be a lot higher there, because not only are you having to factor in the cost and time of like modding an N64 or buying a modded N64, which is a lot more pricey, generally speaking. That's what I did with mine. I just bought one that was already modded. You got to factor in that you need those better cables, the 2X Pro / other thing itself, so much bigger run of cost there than just buying or doing an RGB mod and then tacking on a RAD2X to it. So it depends on what you're looking to do that dictates it. I hope this video was helpful in kind of showing you what they look like with these various settings, and for the 2X Pro, the various cables that you could use with these settings. That's the whole idea here. So hey, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all watching. As I said before, if you found the video helpful or informative, feel free to subscribe. Regarding the Discord server, which is now where lots of stuff is happening, all the news, the updates, and also videos get posted early, running a promotion for the whole of 2023. Videos go up there as like unlisted links to YouTube first, and then go live to YouTube afterward. After the new year, that's going to change a little bit, but it's always going to be free to be in that Discord server. But we're also doing a giveaway to celebrate the launch of the Discord server. If you join the Discord server, you're an active member. When the giveaway time lapse is the
day of reckoning, the day of
giving away comes, you can win yourself a free digital copy of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So hey, look forward to that. If you join the server, you'll be eligible as long as you're an active member come the draw date, which is here-ish. Hey, though, thank you so much for joining me today as I fumble all over the place with this speech. Have a good day. Get out of here. And come back for the next one. We're gonna do the 5X Pro next. The 5X Pro is the next one. So come back for that. Get out of here. Get out of here! What are you doing? Get out of here!